All right, here we go. Week 8. We got 2 more weeks until our test week, and then we start cycle 5. So to start Monday off, same structure, 8 to 12 strict press to 1 to 2 reps in reserve with a barbell. So if you guys have been doing this, I just look back at last week and see what weights you used and then go based off of that. This should feel like a burn in the shoulders and the triceps when you're doing this. So then you know you're hitting the kind of right rep ranges and the right stimulus. We're going to do a set every 3 minutes, and we're going to do 3 rounds of that. And we're going to repeat that after the 3 rounds with dumbbell seated press. So sit on the ground, 2 dumbbells, doing strict press again, 1 to 2 reps in reserve. This is going to challenge more of your core. And again, kind of start to isolate your shoulders one from another, where you got that kind of more freedom to move with the dumbbell. So you're going to have to really focus on pushing straight up. A little bit more abduction is required with the shoulders there. So kind of activating more of those stabilizers. When we're done that strength work, our workout is 10 minutes. Very simple. 15 calorie like for the guys, 12 for the ladies. And then you're going to go into a max set of unbroken ring push-ups. So you're going to do as many as you can. And then once you break, you're going to go back into assault bike calories again. So your assault bike calories are kind of like your cash in or your buy-in before you go for an attempt of the ring push-ups. And the idea is to just get as many ring push-ups done in these 10 minutes as possible. So upper body stamina, or in other words, like when you're feeling that fatigue in the shoulders and you just can't quite get any more reps done, that's kind of what we're looking for in this workout, but with ring push-ups. So that's Monday's workout. Going into Tuesday, skill is going to change just a little bit. So timing is a little different. 90 seconds on of max double unders or practice, and then 1 minute off. We do 3 rounds of that, and then our workout's a little bit longer today. So we got our 10 rounds for time, 4 burpees, 6 kettlebell swings, 8 wall balls, and then 200/150 row. And you're going to try to keep this round per every round, try to keep it around the same time. So I would say like you probably want to be around a minute to so a minute for the 4 burpees, kettlebell swings, and the wall balls, and about a minute for the row, roughly, and try to maintain that as much as you can across the 30 minutes there. So if it's 2 minutes around there, obviously we got that 10 rounds there, we would finish in 20 minutes. Though if we've kind of fall off pace, we still have some time, but the idea is to keep a very consistent pace in this one. So tops 3 minutes per round. So if you are exceeding that, I would definitely change the progressions a little bit so that you can maintain the stimulus being endurance today. We don't want to be held back by strength or anything like that. So keep that in mind. And then going from Tuesday to a Wednesday workout, you guys have been doing the power snatch complex here. So if you guys remember, we're doing 1 power snatch, or each set is a little different. We got 3 power snatches on the first set, and then our last one, we're doing overhead squat, then 2, and then a last set of the last rep, we're going to do 1 rep of that overhead squat, and then 1 and 1. So it's kind of like it's 3 plus 1, 2 plus 1, and 1 plus 1. So the idea of this is to work on our technique with the snatch. And also, since we're not going into a squat, it's going to really force us to be explosive with our hips. So we're working on that explosion or that power through our hips, and also the skill of doing the snatch. The overhead squat, if we're limited with that, as you guys know, an overhead lunge would be a great substitute so that we can still kind of hit that kind of squatting pattern, but in a different way, so that you guys can still preserve good positioning instead of kind of pushing through really tough ranges of motion. So that's the first half. And the idea is, again, like if you, with the reps, is to go up in weight. However, I would only do that if you're really comfortable with the snatch. If you're new to it, just focus on the technique, get the bar path down, get really comfortable with it before we start to add more weight to this. Then going into our workout, a little bit of an interesting one. So we got basically 2 movements, power snatches and power cleans. This one's for time. You got 15 minutes, 15 power snatches at 135, 1 minute rest, and then 15 power cleans at 185, 125, 1 minute rest, and then finish with 15 power snatches at 135, 95. So this workout has the workout believe it's Grace, or I think the other one, forgetting the name, but one of them that's at 30, Isabel, 30 snatches for time. So it kind of has that in between and a half version of Grace in there with 1 minute rest built in. So you can kind of push a little bit more, kind of go at an aggressive pace. However, don't lose sight of the technique or the quality of the movement. You want to move efficiently with really good technique. So keep that in mind for every movement, though you want to try to you want to try to finish as quick as possible for each of those sets. So barbell cycling, the power, the speed, the skill of the movements is what we're working on. You're going to get that endurance effect too as well, since we're doing multiple reps at a time. If you want to go touch and go, you can, if you have the capability of doing it. For those that are newer to this movement, I would pick a progression of like a hang position, or even going from the floor, but really trying to be cautious with kind of the positioning coming up. If you feel good with the weights, then you can kind of go up. If you find that you're kind of limited more with the actual weights and you want to kind of just nail in the technique, we can set this at more at 20 or 30 reps for you, so that you're getting more repetitions, but as long as it's done at a quality, in a quality way. So that means for you guys that are not able to kind of push the heavy or the strength stimulus of this as much, then we can up the reps a little bit more, so we can get more reps under our belt just learning the technique of it. So somewhere between 20 to 30 reps for each of those movements there. So you guys can keep that in mind. Going into Thursday, back to another endurance day. So this is a day where we can kind of like push that, or kind of relax the intensity a little bit, put the brakes on, and just going more at a steady pace. Longest workout of the week, 40 minutes, 3 rounds for time, 50/40 cal row, 150 single skips, and then back on the bike, 50/40 cal bike. And then we're going to go to lateral med ball throws against the wall, being at least 5 feet away, using a 20-pound ball for the guys and 14 for the ladies. We're going to do 30 on one side and then 30 on the other side before we take a minute rest. And then we're going to go back to the top and repeat. So goal is to get into that third round or finish all 3 rounds in the 40 minutes. Friday's workout, we got our deadlift workout. So same idea, 3 rounds, 5, 3, 1. First round, RPE 7. Second round, RPE 8. And then round 3, 8.5 to 9.5. So challenging on that last one. You can go touch and go as long as it's controlled. And each round, what that means is there's sets of 5, a set of 3, and a set of 1. Once you do 5, 3, 1, that's a round. So basically, on that first round, we're starting easier and then building up by the round 3. So goal of this, the deadlift, is we're building a lot of strength in our posterior chain. So the muscles on the backside of our body, which also help a ton with our posture, is what we're training today, and leg strength as well. So when you're doing this today, obviously technique, the form of the movement is very critical before we start to drive the load. If you have been doing this pretty regularly and you're keeping good positioning, good technique, then we can bump up the load here. Then finally our workout, 10 minutes, a little bit of a different style. We got 10-minute AMRAP of 7 dumbbells, strict handstand push-ups. So our hands are going to be on dumbbells, 9 dual dumbbell sumo deadlifts, and then 11 single arm overhead dumbbell walking lunges. So that means we got 1 arm overhead, and then we're doing 11 dumbbell walking lunges. You can switch however you want, really up to you what side you want to start with or how you want to mix it up. They are odd numbers, so it's going to be a little bit hard to kind of do one side or do it evenly every time, but don't worry about that. I'd focus on today's more about the strength and the stability of the movement. So you're going to get more of a strength stimulus out of this than you are in endurance. A lot of these movements are going to require different positioning that we're not used to. And there's more instabilities like in the overhead walking lunge. So take your time with it. Aim for, I would say, about 4 to 6 rounds in the 10 minutes to get that right stimulus of today's workout. So that's Friday, and then going into our weekend. 2 of our days out of the weekend. First day, Saturday, 20-minute AMRAP. This one goes like this: 5, 10, 15 V-ups, 3 kettlebell snatch per side, and 1 strict pull-up. So what this means is 5 V-ups and then 3 kettlebell snatches per side, 1 strict pull-up. Then the next round is 10 V-ups, 3 kettlebell snatches, 1 pull-up, 15, 3, 1, and then we go into here. Then it's 5 V-ups, 3 kettlebell snatches, 1 strict pull-up, then 5, 6, 1, 5, 9, 1, then go into the next round, 5, 3, 1, 5, 3, 2, 5, 3, 3, and then you're going to restart back at the top. So a little bit of an interesting kind of set and rep scheme, because the reps are only going up on one of the movements, the rest of them are staying the same. The overall goal of this one is we're working on a piece of strength here. We're working on endurance, and I would say definitely some skill too as well. The kettlebell snatch, that might be more newer to you if you haven't done it before. But this workout, keep a steady pace across the 20 minutes. See if you can get through at least 1 or 2 rounds of these sets, or kind of like sections, I should say. So strength and endurance is the focus of this one. And then Sunday, we got a partner workout, bench press and box jump overs. Really interesting combo here. We got 21 bench press, 21 box jump overs, then 18, 18, all the way down to 3. And then we're going to work our way back up to 21. So a lot of muscle endurance or stamina is going to be worked on today in this workout. However, you get to break this up with your partner. So however you want to break it up to you guys. Split it up though. There's a lot of reps. So I wouldn't advise having only one partner do bench press and one do box jump overs. We do want to have about a half kind of split of the reps across the workout there. And you got 30 minutes to work through it. So plenty of time to get chip away at this one. That's a good little workout to finish off your week. Hope you guys enjoy this week's set of workouts, and we'll see you guys next week.